Why you always in the mood? I'm acting brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool.
Welcome back to Bug Between Us Girls. I'm your host Lola, and
I'm Etta.
How your week been?
It's been a week. I know I say this every week, but this week has been a week.
Yes, it has been a week. The weather is changing. The time is different. The pollen is out. Yes. So it's been a week.
Yes.
All right, let's start off with hot news.
Hot news.
What is hot news?
What have you seen on the news that's been?
Oh, yes. We started that last week. Yes. Well, what I've seen, have you seen anything on the news?
No, I really don't. This week I didn't look at the news at all, just because the only thing I remember is the fact that the current political party that's on stage said that they were canceling the public education department.
Oh, yeah. I got a couple people that work there. They fired over 100 people.
That's crazy.
Monday.
It's like
and they firing by departments, which is crazy when you think about it. So no matter how long you work, they just got rid of your portion of that department.
Yeah, it's like every week more people are losing their jobs. It's so sad.
I know,
I don't know. So I hear two sides of it, right? Like I hear like this cleanup should have been happened like throughout the years. And then I hear that it should have never happened because those departments are important. But then come to find out some of those departments were overlapping with other departments. So somebody was being employed for two different departments doing the same exact thing. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
But it's a way to clean up when you think about it. Because I know at my job, when they get rid of the department, they move people to other departments. And they cannot tell me the government don't need people to answer those IRS telephones.
Right.
So, yes, you got rid of this department. You should be able to go work somewhere else where they need people.
Right.
Give me the list. Let me pick which department I want to move to.
Exactly.
It shouldn't just be you losing your job.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that. And plus, like, who cleans a 50,000 building story in one day? Like, you can't do that. You gotta, you get tired. You gotta wait, slow down.
That's right. So, yes, other than that, and I know April 5th is coming up, and that's the protest day. So, for all those participating, good luck out there.
And be safe.
Yes, and then April 6th is an even bigger date because the tariff's supposed to hit. So, we'll figure out what happens once those hit. So, yeah, next week we'll probably talk about something else, non-politics. So y'all go out there and make something great happen so we ain't got to talk about politics.
Please.
All right, our next section is Say Less, which is something juicy, or the set off, which is something that got you upset, or what's good, something that's good that happened, or fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride. What you think, Anna? You got anything for this week?
Do you have something?
Let's see. You know what I'm upset about? I'm upset when people waste your time. When they say they want to be somewhere, and this is work related, not anything else related, but people set up stuff with you and then they just don't show up. Now, I'm saying this as I missed the meeting at 11 o'clock today because I had a doctor appointment. I thought that meeting was at 2 o'clock today, but it was at 11 o'clock. So I'm mad at myself too. So now I can't even be mad at other people because I just did it today. But, yes, I am. Oh, that burns me when people just don't, or they'll call and be like, hey, let's meet 3 hours later. And you're just sitting around now waiting 3 more hours for this meeting. So, yes.
I don't think that bothers me so much on a professional level than it does on a personal level. Like, I can care less. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here either.
But you got to get something done.
Yeah, well,
you was waiting on that.
It wasn't that important to them, so why should it be that much more important to me?
Because they're going to give you less time to complete it.
No.
That's what they're going to do.
No.
They're going to say, now it's still due tomorrow, even though I told you at 4 o'clock instead of at 9 a.m. when you showed up.
Well, I usually get my work done within the first 3 minutes of receiving it anyway, so not a big deal.
Yes.
All right.
All right. On the watch list. You got something on the watch list?
Didn't we watch something? I feel like we watched something.
I feel like we watched something too.
Okay, I watched what Kasha recommended last week. That show, the
Severance?
Yes.
Oh, you watched Severance? Where'd you find it at?
No, not Severance. It was that show
No.
when they get stuck. Extracted.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
Extracted.
okay, I watched this.
Yeah, I gotta say, we
That
couldn't
was pretty
find
good.
Severance.
Yeah.
So if you know where that is, put it in the
I
notes.
do know where it is.
Oh,
I think it's on Apple TV.
oh okay.
Yeah,
All right.
my supervisor just told me she's obsessed and that I need to watch it.
What's
and
it
I was
about?
like,
Did
I
she
need
tell
your
you what it's
login
about?
information.
Did she tell you what's it about?
No, I didn't ask,
Oh.
but she's like, I don't want to tell you because you just got to watch it. It's so
Oh,
good.
okay.
So we have to find that.
Yeah.
Um,
We're taking Apple logins in the notes down there if you want to, so we can review that show.
I got so many subscriptions, man. I can't add another one.
I know. I just saw my Hulu is $55 a month. I don't know what Hulu doing for $55 a month. That is crazy. But go ahead.
I paid over $100 for a year subscription for Paramount. And then I
man.
watch stuff on Amazon Prime, right? And it's like powered by Paramount. And then I go into Paramount because I'm like, let me see if it's on here because I paid, so I gotta know. So I go on there and it's like available on Apple Prime. I'm like, the hell y'all doing to me
That
right
is
now?
crazy. That is
So
crazy.
that's crazy. Also, what else have we been watching?
I watched The Residence. I just started that.
Oh,
that
I started
was good. You started The Residence?
I'm on episode 4.
Woo! About the guy who died.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
And they bring in Miss Cup or something.
Yes.
Right?
What kind of reminds me of this other television show that I watch. I can't think of it, but it's from The Good Fights and The Good Wife, and then it became the third thing. And that lady kind of does the same thing this lady does in The Residence. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. So that is good. The Residence is really good.
Yeah, that's good. And that's on Netflix.
Yeah, I wonder if the White House really looks like that.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? With all those back areas? I always get amazed by people that can develop all of this stuff. It looks just like a small house on the outside. I mean, it's the White House, but it doesn't look that big. And then it has all this stuff, 2 basements. They were like basement 1, basement 2. I wish I did live somewhere with basement
I
1,
wish I had a
basement 2.
basement 1 and a
Basement
basement
2.
2. And a secret tunnel.
Yes.
I want a secret tunnel house.
You can get out your neighborhood without people knowing it.
With my car?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Oh, my tunnel need to be as big as for me to fit my car.
So
That's
yes, we would recommend Extracted and The Residence. They are both good. I just started again watching This Is Us, which is so sad. That's such a sad.
You were obsessed with
television.
that show.
I know. I never finished it though.
Oh.
Yeah, I have this thing when I can't finish TV. Like we watched The Cleaning Lady. I never watched the last
I
episode.
didn't either.
Marvelous Maisley. I love that show. I couldn't even watch the last season because I knew it was the last season. I cannot watch the last show of any show. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I can't do it.
You just can't let go.
Yeah, I can't it's like you're losing something. Yeah, so.
Then you forget. Then you're like,
I
let
know,
me
that's
just
why I gotta
start.
watch This Is Us from the beginning because I have no clue what the end would be like.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
There's so many shows that I feel like I haven't watched, and I have watched until I started again. I don't know.
Yeah. So what's the question of the day?
What's the one thing I do that makes you proud to call me your bestie?
I guess I go first since you read it. I would say how great a mom she is. You know, and that makes me a better godmom because her first priority is her kids. Even when we plan something without the kids, you know, it's always, well, what can the kids do that they're going to enjoy themselves while we're not there?
Yeah.
So, or we think, like when we went to Connecticut, we was like, oh, the kids would love this. We got to, do something like this with the kids. So it's always our priority to have them try new things, do new things, experience new things. You know, I grew up where my parents took me somewhere new every year to experience something different. And I've always bought into kids should be able to experience, especially at an early age, a lot of different stuff. And that you bought into that with me. And like, even when we bought that Sesame Street pass, and I was like, buying the pass, really, if you go to Sesame Street, which is a great amusement park,
It is.
buying the pass, it doesn't make a difference if you buy a day pass or the summer pass or the year pass because it's almost the same price. I think I might have paid like $15 more for the...
But you also did the math. Remember, you were like, if we were to go twice,
Yes.
then it would pay for the
itself,
whole. And
yeah.
then we got to go to the Christmas show, the Halloween special, like...
And we went up like once a week every month in the summer. And the kids enjoyed it.
They loved it.
They enjoyed it. So yes. Yeah, for them to get those kind of experiences and to enjoy it and have a cabana and all of that, and it was just amazing. And the summer with Santa Claus at Sesame Place is amazing.
It
too.
is really nice.
So yeah, I mean the whole thing was so nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my thing was also really connected to children too. And the reason, okay, so what's the one thing that you do that makes me proud to call you my bestie is, again, like the fact that you can have so much trust and security and not worry as a mom when you leave your children with that certain somebody is the biggest thing. That's, you know me, like I don't leave my kids with anybody really, you know, especially for like hours on end, right? Especially overnight, like, or on a trip or anything. And there's my mom and there's Kasha. There's nobody else that I do that with. So,
And Dennis.
oh, well, yeah, that's his father.
Well, some people don't. They be like, I can't live with my
Well,
husband.
I mean,
You done heard
outside
that
of-
before.
Yeah, so, I think that's what. But at the same time, what we are realizing, right? Or that at least I'm realizing, I know, is I need to find a space where we have gotten so comfortable with being the motherly figures to these children that we forget that we're also friends.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, and I feel like lately we've been realizing that maybe within the past year or so, and we're trying to do things that is just you and I or adults instead of bringing in the children, which is nice. Even if it's an uncircumstantial thing, like going to Connecticut, it was just us. It was a bonding moment for me and her. We have a New York trip coming up. That's amazing. We go to comedy shows. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, those type of things. We need to find that balance where, you know, we're still besties, but we're also mother figures in our kids' lives.
Yes, yes. All right.
Okay.
Here's the topic of the day. Siblings. Your relationship with your siblings. Would you like to start off today?
Sure. I have one blood-related brother. He is 10 years younger than me. So, and it's crazy. So our relationship is very different than a lot of people's sibling relationship maybe. And the reason for that is because we've never had a brother-sister relationship. We've always had like a mother-son relationship. And, you know, my mom was ill when he was born, so I automatically and immediately became a mother figure in his life. And then that kind of made me feel that way. So then growing up, it's always been that way, right? So the relationship is, we don't really argue about what normal people would argue about as like siblings. Like, you took my stuff, you took this, you didn't ask, stop taking my clothes, or, you know. Ours is like, did you go to work? Do you have enough for your bills? You know, did you do your laundry? Like, literally what you would say to your child is what I say to Arda. But he has the best heart. He has the biggest heart. Does he need work? Absolutely. But so does everybody else. You know, but so, you know, it's hard for me to say. I would group him more into a segment with your relationship with your children than I would into a relationship with your siblings, you know? And I don't mean that in a belittling kind of way. It's just the relationship that we formed and have had throughout the years. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some things that he does that does drive me crazy. Like, I would do something hoping that he would do the same thing back, and he doesn't. So that kind of irks me. And then there's only the two of us in this world, right? Like, as far as siblings go, like, I would think as much as I have his back on everything he's done throughout his whole life, that I would feel the same, and I don't. Yeah. How about
I can understand that. Well, I have two siblings. I am the baby, the child my parents wanted. They kept trying till they had me. Ooh la la. That's written in the book. Anywho.
Written in the book where?
Like in my father's book of notes that he has. Yes.
So facts.
Facts, yes. So I had an older brother who passed away while he was in college that was 4 years older than me. And then I had another brother who was 2 years older than me that's still alive. And I think our relationships are very sibling-based relationships. What happened in our house is that it was very gender-based. So I hung out with my mom and my brothers hung out with my dad. And we did not hang out and do the same thing all the time. So really, if we were at the house, we would hang out, or if we went on vacation, we would hang out. But they really were not like you see regular brothers and sisters all the time hanging out doing stuff together. And then my older brother was seen as the protector of everybody. You know, that was a hard role to have for him. I didn't realize it. Yeah, growing up. I mean, and when I think back to some of the stuff he said, I realized that he did not take to the role very well. Although he did it well, he didn't enjoy doing it. So, like, I can remember one time my brother took us on the bus from the inner city Baltimore back home on the bus, and he couldn't have been more than 8. So I was 4 and my other brother was 6.
That's crazy.
And I remember standing on North Avenue at 4 years old thinking, why am I out here? Like, I didn't recognize the neighborhood. And my brother was like, just stand still. Like, because we were close to the street and it was like a 6-lane street.
The oldest child is 8.
Yes. And he took us home. Like, I remember him being in those kind of leadership roles. Or even when I started middle school, he would have to come from his house. He would go to school in high school. Then he would go to practice because he played basketball. Then he would catch the bus to my middle school, which I had to wait for 2 hours for him to get there. And then we caught the bus home together. And I remember him going like, I don't know why I have to do this. You should be able to catch the bus on your own. You know, it was all of this discussion to me. He never discussed it with my parents. And so he had more of a older brother role, and my other brother did not. My older brother really took care of both of us. Even like if something happened in the house and everybody got punished or somebody said they did it, I remember like my parents used to punish us by standing in the living room. And you know, when I think back to that kind of stuff, like my father and mother would go to sleep. And I used to think to myself, why did we never sit down? But we would stand in that living room. It like starting at 7 o'clock at night. It'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. We're still standing, all 3 of us. None of us sat down. And then my brother would be like, I'm just going to say I did it.
Oh my God.
And he would go in the room, wake up my father, say he did it, and then we could all go to sleep. So he really did take to that leadership role. I think you said something about what you didn't like about your relationship. Did you say something like that?
Yeah, what I don't like about my relationship.
So if I had to say what I didn't like about our relationship, I wish I would have had more time with my brother. The oldest one before he passed away. Like if we had that kind of relationship where we were in the house together all the time, but like to really just hang out with each other. And with my middle brother, I just wish he was given some of that responsibility so my older brother didn't have to carry it all by himself.
Right.
Although, you know, I know why my parents did not give him the responsibility, but it would have been nice to share that with him. Because I think it would have made my older brother, have less to do, and my younger brother have more responsibility and feel like he had to contribute more to the house.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So having a lot of responsibility is hard. It is very, very hard. Like, I'm the oldest, and carrying that burden, not burden, I wouldn't say, but that responsibility and full on your shoulders is it makes you very tired.
Yes,
right?
At an early age.
Yeah, very, very early age. And if maybe roles were split, right, or responsibilities were split amongst the 3 children, maybe you would have gotten the time and that relationship building with your older more, right?
Right.
So I don't know. It's
Did you ever wish you were an only child?
So funny story is I begged my parents for years for a sibling. Years. Like I was 9, I think, when Arda was born, or 10 or whatever. We're 10 years apart. Anyways, and it wasn't until my parents came home one day and our upstairs neighbor, because we lived in an apartment, said my mom and my dad died. And and now I'm all alone in this world.
Oh my goodness.
Because she was an only child. That was when my parents decided to have another child. They weren't going to have another one. I would have been an only child.
Oh.
Yeah. Do I sometimes wish I was? Kind of. But you know what I do wish more, which I said just yesterday to my mom and dad. And I said, I wish you would have given me some siblings in between me and Arda.
Oh.
Not that I don't want Arda.
Right.
I want Arda. But I want a few in between. That way I would have had a relationship like a sibling, which is also why I went ahead and had my kids back to back. That was the reasoning behind it all. My 2 boys are 20 months apart. My daughter in the middle are 3 years apart. Like, you know, so
Right.
they are all
Relatively close.
5 years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, all within 5 years.
Well, I never, since I was the youngest, never even thought about being an older child. I mean, only child, because I had 2 older brothers. But I also never thought about my parents having any more children. Like, I really liked being the youngest. Like, I understood the role of the youngest. And I lived it every day. The youngest and the only girl. Oh, my goodness. Life was amazing. It would have been so much different if another girl came up in that house. Oh my God. I'd have to share my room. Wasn't going to happen. Share my toys. Wasn't going to happen. Share my father. Wasn't going to happen. Oh my goodness. My father carried me around till I was 5 years old. They couldn't have carried me around at 5 if he had another baby. He would have been like, now you got to walk. Imagine how different I would have been if I had 5 more years on these legs.
You know what's funny is, so my daughter constantly asks me, because the boys have a very good relationship now, and so she'll be like, and this is why I wanted a sister, and I'd be like, that's not happening anymore. The shop has closed. Okay, and she's like, oh well, you said at one point. So at one point I said that I wanted to foster, and so she was like, okay, well, when we have a foster sister, can we have a sister? Or when we have a foster sibling, can we have a sister? And I was like, listen, this is not how it works. You don't go in and you pick what gender, what age, you know, all that stuff. You don't do that. Like, that's not the point of me doing this.
Right.
Like,
you go with whoever needs the help at that moment.
Yeah, but, you know, she's 6.
That's like the lady I watch, Christy Gior, I think her name is, Gior on YouTube. She went into fostering, and the first time she got picked, it was for twins, a boy and a girl. And she was like, well, I didn't know if I wanted to do 2 babies. They were like in the hospital just born. And they were like, we need a place for them to go tonight.
Yeah.
And so her and her husband thought about it, and she took the babies and quit her job. And her husband like, we're going to make it work. And now they adopted those babies, and the children are like 12 years old now.
That's what I would end up doing.
Yeah, so she ended up adopting 5 kids that she fostered. And then she was like, I think our family is complete. I'm not going to foster any more kids. You know, it's a lot to bring people in and bring people out. And then she got pregnant right when she stopped fostering. Yeah. And she got that. Then she was going through how the children going to feel if you bring, you know, a biological baby in. And those kids are like, oh, we got something that finally belongs to everybody. Like, and they just love on that little boy they had. Oh my goodness. And the oldest boy was the only boy out the 5. And he loves on that. He's like, I got a little brother. I mean, the baby only like 2 now. He's throwing football with the baby because the oldest boy played football forever. And he's out there throwing it with a 2-year-old. Like, one day he's going to be able to play this for real with me. So that's really nice. Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'm afraid of, is attachment. I will be so attached. And plus, we need a bigger house for something like that. And or a girl. She's right. Because I think the living arrangement is, if they are sharing a room, they must be the same gender.
Right.
And my daughter has her own room.
Right.
So that would be, but again, very tight.
Yes. Yes. For
Very,
me to
very
have
good.
another guy child, I need a bigger place too. Especially another girl, because if she coming down there, woo,
Yes.
it's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Problem.
Lot of pictures at a scene, and she said it looked like an art gallery.
You're gonna have it does. No, I said not an art gallery. I said it looks like a arts and craft studio or something like that. Like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so that's our siblings. Last time we didn't say like, share, and subscribe. We tried to try a little something different. And what y'all do? Y'all didn't like, y'all didn't share, y'all didn't subscribe. So I guess we can go back to saying it. We got to get our numbers up. We are stuck at 49. Who's going to be that 50th person to add on?
Come on.
Yes, get your grandmother's phone and add her into this chat.
Yes.
But yet again, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Again, with Bug Between Us Girls. Bye.
Why you always in the mood? I'm acting brand new. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Really, I ain't playing.